Everybody can create. In the Everyone Can Create iBook, Apple shows teachers and students how they can use technology in the classroom each day. It doesn't matter the subject area or topic. They make the activities very vague so that you can apply them for almost anything. I focused on the photography section. Photography Unit 1. Find a subject, compose your shot. Activity 1. Go ahead, make a scene. In this activity, you have to choose a place as a subject, take some careless, unplanned photos of it. Now retake shots of that place. This time try to plan it out, move around, and adjust the composition before you go ahead and take your shot. Here are my examples. On the left, I have an unplanned photo that I took. On the right, I have a planned photo that I took. These are both photos of the K-State Garden. Activity 2. Focus and depth. Find an object to photograph. Let your camera automatically focus. Then tap on a further part of the image to see how the focus changes. Continue experimenting with focus as you take photographs. Here are my examples of focus. On the left, I focused on the flower in the front of the screen. On the right, I focused on the leaves in the middle right of the screen. Notice how whatever object I'm focusing on is more clear in the pictures than the rest of the objects. Photography Unit 2. Light and Shadow. Activity 1. There is not always a light switch. Select a location with a strong light source. Take some photos without thinking about lighting. Identify areas in the photos where light is either too bright or too dark. Take more photos and compare the lighting. Here are my examples. On the left, we have a photo that's too bright. We can't see the tulip or much of anything else in the photo, only some of the leaves and the ground. On the right, we have a photo that's too dark. You can't really see anything except for the silhouettes of the objects. In the middle, we have it just right. You can clearly see everything in the photo. This is kind of like Goldilocks and the Bears. There's always something that's either too bright or too dark. You just gotta find the right mix. Activity 2. Exposure. Find somewhere with both dark and light spots. Tap different parts of the screen to see the exposure change. Pick a subject and see how exposure can change and how much detail shows in the subject. You can always adjust it manually as well by tapping to focus and sliding your finger up or down. Here are my examples. Before adjusting, I just took a random shot of a river birch on the left. On the right is after I adjusted the photo a little bit. You can see there's more texture that shows up and it's a little bit more clear. Photography Unit 3. Editing. Activity 1. Crop for composition. Choose a photo taken before thinking about composition. Tap to edit, then crop. Try straightening the photo by using reference points to know if it's straight or not. Drag or pinch corners to crop. Here's my example. I wanted to take a photo of this statue here, but there's a lot of excess details in the background that I didn't need. For example, that sign that's attached to the rock isn't really necessary in this photo, and it's a little bit distracting. I cropped it out in the photo on the right. Activity 2. See things in a different light. Select an image taken before considering lighting. Tap light, then adjust the slider. Tap color, then adjust the slider. Tap the photo and compare it with the original. Here are my examples. I purposely chose a photo that had bright colored tulips and not a very bright background, just so you can see the pop of color to begin with, but how it can be adjusted as well. In the before photo, the tulips do pop out a lot, but in the after photo, I adjusted the color to make them even brighter and a little bit darker. You can see there's also more color in the mulch as well. Activity 3. Get comfortable. Open one of your favorite photos. Tap Edit, then Filters. Adjust the light, color, and black and white. Explore different combinations. Here's my examples. The original photos on the left. I edited a version of color in the middle. It's just slightly toned down, but there's more warm colors in it than the one on the left. On the right, I took things in a whole new direction. I made it black and white. I added more depth and more dark spots in it, and it's a little bit more clear as well. There are many possible uses for this project in the classroom, especially ag classrooms. Students can showcase their SAE projects. Students can show other students presentations of field trip experiences, leadership conferences, and our school FFA events. They can take photos of school projects that the class implements. For example, if the class creates new walkways for the school, maintains the gardens, or any other things like that. A horticultural design class can take photos of properties that need renovated or have been renovated, so they can use them as references as they're making their designs. They can pinpoint specific features of a plant or object to use as visual aid for presentations. So maybe they show the different leaf venation or leaf margins, different stuff like that. It can be used by teachers as they take photos of plants and insects or animals for identification units. So maybe there's a unit where they're identifying trees that are local to the area. A teacher can go ahead and take their own photos instead of using photos from online. This would make it more relatable for students as well, since they'd be seeing those trees every day. Can be used to create visually appealing posters for the classroom. Teachers and students can use these techniques to take photos for classroom publications and advertisements for events. Students can use these tricks to take good quality photos for chapter scrapbook or the end of the year video slideshow. Students can use images to make interactive notebooks. Students can also use photographs to show a process. So maybe they show just a visual of it. They can make how-to books, etc. They can show things like seed germination and root and shoot development, showing how to properly use a tool and stuff like that.